Good afternoon, everyone. We are here today with Dale Sizemore of VoterWorks. He is our Spotlight Member of the Month, and his company's name is VoterWorks. And we're here at Tech Alpharetta in Alpharetta. So, Dale, tell us something about yourself.
Well, thank you, Peg. Appreciate the opportunity of sharing a little bit about VoterWorks and Tech Alpharetta and some of the things that I've done. I'm a serial entrepreneur, been involved with 9 startups, worked with large companies, small companies, and got tired of the large corporate environment and said, if I'm going to be going into the side of a mountain, I want to be at the front of the airplane. So I had seen a lot of the tech startups and gathered some of the resources, got involved with Tech Alpharetta, ATDC, and some of the organizations, and really had a good following of friends and family and resources around. About 4 years ago, Jim Gilvin, who was city councilman at the time, came up to me and said, Dale, you've been involved with a lot of startups. I believe it's important for us to try to improve the DNA of the political gene pool. I said, what do you mean? He said, let's make it easier for people to run for office. A lot of people think it's intimidating. You have to have a big war chest, it's complicated. And in case of the incumbents, they kind of want you to think that way. But he said it ought to be easier to be able to map out your political campaign and get more good people running for office, because that's where the rest of them come from.
Yeah, that's really important.
So we put that together, and Jim provided some good guidance. I learned a lot more about MySQL and databases than I ever dreamed I would know about, and learned how to do that. And with the help of some good friends and some resources, we were able to pull it together. So VoterWorks is deployed here in the state of Georgia as our first state. And we're refining it here. Over 150 candidates ranging from Congress to coroner have used it. Judges, clerks of court, sheriff, city council, county commissioners, mayors, tax commissioners, all kinds of folks have found this to be useful. And there are other options where to just call the county elections office and say, I'd like to get the voter records from the last time. Well, that's fine, but that's just a data point of one. That doesn't really help them out in terms of knowing which way the people are voting. Did they change parties? Did they vote absentee? And that kind of information, which is very important. And if you're on a shoestring budget like most of them are, you really need to use your time and your money wisely. You can raise more money, but you cannot raise more time. So what we have done is we've gone back from 2007 all the way up to the current elections and been able to pull together a pattern. Think of it like a credit score of voting history. And what that allows people to do is be able to segment as they would, they were selling any other product, for males, females, black, white, Asia Pacific, or Hispanic, and who has the highest scores and are the community influencers in each one of those cohorts. Then you can go get your message. If I'm running for city council, what is my message for Hispanic women or black females or whatever? You can even go down by age as well and communicate with those people, and they become your microphones. And then we also have another report that you use to send that out to your mailers. And this can pay for the whole VoterWorks campaign on its own through postage savings. And it tells you which households have got people that actually vote the most. There's an idea. And then you have a third report, which is your walk list. That one's particularly useful because if I was going to run for office and said, hey, Peg, would you be able to help me with my office? Yeah, I'd be happy, Dale. Great, here's 1,000 names of people to go contact. It's like, oh, that's my day to wash the cat. Gee, I'm too busy that day. Instead, it would be a lot more attractive to any of the volunteers to be able to say, here's 100 cards in your neighborhood, in your precinct, in your streets around you. Go to Pin Oak Lane, and there's 60 houses, and just go to the ones with a score of 50 and above. Well, there's only 8 houses on that street. Yeah, I'll just go put the cards on their door, and then I can go over to Willow Tree Lane or wherever. And that makes it a lot easier for everybody to engage and have the right dialogue. So again, preparing people with the right message is what we're trying to do. And even if they don't win, it helps give a message to the incumbents that this is not your office, it's an office that you happen to have been in for a while, and being able to represent yourself. Do votes count? The midterms are going to be very important for turnout. Back in the May primaries, one poor guy actually lost by 1 vote. 1 vote. I would just be beside myself if I had campaigned for 6 months and worked so hard and only lost by 1 vote. As it turns out, I talked to someone who said, they were there, and there was a couple that said they forgot to vote on that election. That would have been awful. So that's kind of the overview of the VoterWorks story. We're trying to make it easier, better, faster, cheaper for people. People have said it's 96% accurate. I won 8 out of 8 campaigns with this, said one consultant. So it's working. It's a good tool, and we want to get it out there. And anybody who's running for office, either party or all parties, needs to know about this option. It's a great new tool that's available to everybody here in the state of Georgia.
That's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Have you, are you at liberty to tell us whose campaign you've worked on lately?
We don't mention the names of the campaigns, but it's ranging from statewide campaigns at the highest levels all the way down to the municipal races and school board races and some of those. It ranges all over the state, from metro to rural to north to south, from tax commissioner to Congress.
Okay. Do you have aspirations to expand into other states?
We could. It just depends upon the nature of the states. We really need someone that would want to help bring us in and get that message across, because it's important. It is a very political, no pun intended, type of environment where you have to basically know each other. It certainly can be done. We have the capability of going in other states, but we want to get it really, really good here in Georgia first. And if we never go beyond Georgia, that's fine with us. We're making a difference.
Glad to hear that. Yeah, that's been really, really interesting. Anything else that you can add?
Well, if you're tired of voting by subtraction and not having good choices, then let's see if we can get some more good people to run for office and make it less painful. And it's just like with the ABA and the other members, we're all selling a small business. We're a small business. The candidates are a small business as well. And anything we can do to improve the messaging and the value for each other is an important thing to do in the community, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Cool. Are you originally from Georgia?
I've been here 33 years. I grew up in Florida.
Okay. You're a homeboy.
Yeah, naturalized.
Here you go. Anything else you'd like to add?
I've been a proud member of ABA and helped with the tech showcase, and you feel like family to me.
You did an outstanding job this year with the tech showcase. It was just super. And always in the years in the past have been great too. They're always interesting people to meet and to listen to their story and how they're evolving and coming about. So we hope you guys are very, very successful.
Well, thank you. We enjoyed it. The folks that participated from the tech showcase from our side, they just loved it. They thought it was wonderful. And it's funny that the ABA does the farmers market. I was describing to some people, the tech showcase or the expo is kind of like the farmers market of small businesses. And it's a good way of describing that to folks.
It's a good example, very good example. So, well, Dale, thank you very much. I appreciate the interview, and I know our audiences out there are anxious to learn more about you and maybe possibly run for office.
No, there's no call names on that. I'm not going to be running off for office here. Jim Gilman's done a good job of that. That's enough for me.
There you go. There you go. So,
thank you for the opportunity of being a member of the month and being in the member spotlight.
you're so welcome. So, it's nice meeting you, Dale.
Thanks, Peg.
All right. Bye.